Hi, you guys. What's up? What's up? So, today I'm working with a pre-painted background. I painted this three layers of black on it, and then I used a chip brush to splatter on white paint for stars, and then I used a chip brush to splatter on some green glow paint stars. Not to be confused with this green that I have here. This is the neon green. I actually use glow paint green. And I am working again with these neon colors. I'm gonna be on a kick with these maybe. I just happened to have a new idea because I was looking at my ocean wave painting that I did, and just like my last painting. And I was like, man, this would be a really cute moon. Imagine that. I happen to be an astrology nerd. I absolutely love anything to do with the sun, moon, stars, planets, and all of those deep meanings and all of that junk. I actually read charts. I read astrology charts. It's a passion of mine, next to painting, of course, next to art. So what I'm doing, I started with the blue neon paint, and I'm just drawing out my outline. On the last painting, I drew out what I was doing, and then filled it in with paint, and then filled in the outline last. But this time, I didn't want to do that because I wanted those stars on there. And I didn't want to do the stars after I painted the moon because I didn't want to risk getting splatters of stars on top of the moon. I'm sure I could have done that, but my brain said, no, we have to do it this way. So we did it this way. And I want this to be a really adorable crescent moon. And so I'm kind of drawing it in just a little bit wonky. It's not a perfect half moon at all. It's a wonky, happy, trippy moon, if you will. So I'm just trying to get these lines nice and perfect. And all of the other color that I add in, I'm going to put more on the inside of these lines, obviously. I'm rambling, y'all. This is what I do. I'm actually very, very happy today. My oldest son is coming over to visit today. I'm very excited. I miss having his face here every day. It is the hardest thing in the world for a mother with a grown child when their first child moves out. It's like, what is happening? I was a full-time mother, actually, for not their entire lives. Actually, two of them I was always at home. But with my oldest child, I did work for a couple of years. And after my second child was born, his father wanted me to, it's just what we needed to do. And then I just became this stay-at-home mother. And, it was good for the kids and it was good for me. But also, as a full-time mother, you know what happens? You can lose yourself in the lives of your children. And I think that's a terrible thing to do. I don't advise any mother to put her entire being into their kids. Your kids are very important, that's true. But you need to carve out something for yourself. So you know what I did? I started painting. I never took an art class. I just went, and my father was an artist, so I just went to the art store and bought supplies and canvases and brushes and paint, all that stuff. And I just started playing around. I taught myself how to paint. And I started that journey. Now, look, I've always been into art. I've always been a little, I've always, had like doodle pads and stuff like that. And a little piece of, you don't need that info, is my childhood nickname is actually Doodle. So, anyways, I was always into doodling, and that's not why my nickname was Doodle, but we don't need to talk about that. I was always into doodling, and like I have a big love for color and design, and just all things creative. Like I cook, I sew, all that. So I got myself set up out in the garage, and when I had time, when my kids were situated, or when I just had, time to myself when their dad was home or whatever, I would head out to the garage and just play in the paints. And so I've been actually painting since probably 2007. It was around the time my youngest was born, I went ahead and started to carve out time for myself. So I'm really glad that I did that. I highly suggest that every mother find, it doesn't need to be art. If you're not into art, like, you don't have to do that. But art is an acquired skill. It's not, sure, you can have talent for it, but it is an acquired skill. You can teach yourself how to be good at it. Creativity is more of a natural thing, but I mean, I think a lot of people can learn art if you just try. So that's what I did. Anyways, y'all didn't need that story. I just wanted to put something in there. It's okay to talk about myself now and then, because you can clearly see what I'm doing anyway. It's okay. So here, I'm just going back in with the blue because it's buried up in there. And so I wanted to get it back a little bit on the top too. I really wanted the blue to stand out more in this one than it did in the last one. The ocean wave ended up being very orange. I love the ocean wave. Look, it's gorgeous. If you haven't seen it yet, I did post a results video of that with the black light. So I did actually share the dry results with black light. So if you haven't seen that, it's only like a 50-something second video, and I definitely suggest you go and look at that if you liked my ocean wave. The moon, I didn't really care which color is prominent in it, but I definitely wanted the blue and pink to be pretty obvious in it, more so than the green and the orange. But really, I just wanted this to be a neon moon, So if you're going to try this, if you're going to do it the way I did it with the stars on the background before you paint the moon on, if you are not comfortable with doing the splatters, you need to probably practice on a different surface before you put your splatters on this. Otherwise, you might find yourself having to clean your canvas off and redo some stuff, and you don't want to do that. So just practice. I would suggest using a chip brush, or you can use like an old toothbrush too. I used to use old toothbrushes. I've done a lot of art that has a starry background. I love the stars. I love a night sky. And if you go and follow my Facebook page, my Instagram, my TikTok, I'm more likely to share some of my old brushwork art on those media. So please do that. And I appreciate it very much when you support me like that. Also, you guys, hit me up with a like and a comment under this video. And if you don't mind, go ahead and give it a share too, because it's a free way to support my art. It's a free way to help me out, It costs you nothing. And it helps me out a ton, actually. So do that. I would love to hear from you. How is your weekend going? I hope you guys are having a great, relaxing weekend and not watching too much of the news. You could put on almost anything else and it would be relaxing compared to the news. You could put on a horror show and it would be relaxing compared to the news right now. Because our news is a horror show right now in America. I'm in the United States. I live in Texas. I live in the Dallas area. So now I had put on some white because it is, by the way, it is Artist Loft Flow Acrylic White, and it's mixed about 2-to-1 with Floetrol. I like to put a lot of Floetrol in my white if it's a swipe color because it makes amazing cells, and that's the reason that I added the white in here. Also, it's just a little bit of highlight too, but I wanted I wanted the cells in this one, especially because I wanted to have like a crater look like the moon would have. So all I'm doing here is swiping it out and making sure that the line is swiped too, because I didn't want the line to be like really bright and have the white area in the middle. So I'm just kind of fussing around with this to make sure it gets all swiped out so that it is all cohesive. Sometime for you guys, I will do maybe a speed painting with a brush, like on camera, and upload that. Sometime I will do that. I will probably do all kinds of things on this channel. It's not only going to be acrylic pouring at all. I'm not just an acrylic pour artist at all. I'm into a lot of things. This is just my big fascination for the last while is acrylic pouring. And I like to try to see what I can do with it. I was just talking to another artist this morning, and like I was saying, I'm the most not normal person I've ever met. I don't like to do standard things at all. I gotta be weird. I'm really good at being weird. You guys, I'm rambling so much. I don't feel like there's a whole lot that needs to be talked about with what I'm doing. It's pretty straightforward what I'm doing. It's just swiping. I just laid out my outline, filled it in, and then swiped in some white for visual interest and highlight. So the reason that I was so fussy with the baby wipe here, I'm using a baby wipe, by the way, to clean up the lines. The reason that I was so fussy with that is because I didn't want the neon colors to spill outside of the area where I wanted it, and I didn't want it to, if it did that, I didn't want it to dry at all there. So I was really quick to grab the baby wipe and clean up any little spill areas that I got. the lights on and no black light. This is just the daytime look that this painting will have. That's what I love the most about this painting, is that there's a daytime and a black light look. So this is the black light flyover, so you can see some of the effects. Oh, I love it so much. I'm so excited. I'm glad that this idea came to me. I have another idea already ready. I love it. And here are the photos. This is without the black light. With the black light, I have a couple of black light photos in here for you. Thanks you guys for watching. All the love in the world. Have a great weekend. Bye.